Go find another table. This one's for family, not adopted girls. Clara's voice rang through Edelmont, the most expensive restaurant in the city. The room went quiet for a second, then laughter broke out. My parents, my brother, and even Clara's husband joining in like it was the funniest thing they'd ever heard. I stood there holding my clutch, face burning. The chandeliers above threw soft gold light over the white tablecloths, but I felt cold inside. The waiter held the bill folder. I saw the number, $3,270. My breath caught. Since you're part of the family, Clara said, her smirk growing, you can pay for dinner. Before we dive into this story, tell us where in the world you're watching from and what time it is right now. Someone near you might be watching too. And don't forget to subscribe to support and appreciate the work we do on this channel. My name is Alara. I was adopted when I was 5. They gave me food, clothes, and a place to bright it. Sleep but not love. For 22 years, I've lived with that quiet truth. Tonight was supposed to be different. My promotion, my treat, my way of showing I finally belonged. Instead, I was the joke again. I forced a smile. It's fine, let's just eat. Clara leaned back, sipping her wine. If you can afford it. Their laughter stabbed through me. I looked toward Grandma May, the only one who never joined in. Her hands trembled slightly as she set down her glass. Alara, she said softly, how's work? Before I could answer, Clara jumped in. She's a translator, Grandma. Helps poor people fill out forms. I bit my lip. It's more than that. Clara cut me off. Relax. We're teasing. The waiter returned with champagne. Clara smiled up at him. Put it on her tab. That was when Grandma May's voice changed. It was firm now, sharp enough to cut the laughter in half. Enough. Everyone froze. You forget who paid. For your wedding, Clara, she said quietly. Who bought your house? Who gave you everything you couldn't earn yourself? Clara blinked, the color draining from her face. My father shifted uncomfortably. My mother gave a tight smile, pretending nothing had happened. Mother, please. We're in public. Grandma ignored her. Her gaze stayed on Clara. You've mocked that girl for years. But tonight you'll stop. No one spoke. The only sound was the faint hum of music and the clinking of a distant glass. I didn't know what to say. My whole body felt like it was holding its breath. Then Grandma turned to me. Alara, do you know why we adopted you? The question hit me like a wave. I froze. Because you wanted another child? I whispered. Grandma shook her head. No. Because your real parents asked me to. The room spun. My parents? Her eyes softened. Your father was my driver. He once saved my life. When he and your mother died, I couldn't let you go into the system. I promised him I'd keep you safe. My mother slammed her glass down. Mother, that's enough. Clara scoffed. So what? She's the driver's kid? Grandma didn't blink. The man who saved me deserves better than to have his child mocked. The table went silent again. Even the waiter looked frozen in place. I sat there, hands shaking, mind racing. All the laughter, all the jokes, all the years of feeling like less, they suddenly made sense. Then Grandma spoke again, steady and sure. And that's why I changed my will. Everything I own will go to Alara. The words dropped like thunder. My mother's face went white. My father stopped mid-breath. Clara's jaw fell open. You can't be serious, my mother hissed. Grandma didn't flinch. I'm very serious. Clara stood, voice shaking. You're giving everything to her? She's not even blood. Grandma's eyes met hers. Blood doesn't make family. Loyalty does. The air was thick. My pulse pounded in my ears. Then Clara's voice broke the silence again, cold, bitter. If that's what you want, then you can have her. She picked up her bag and stormed off. My parents followed quietly, faces burning with shame. When the noise faded, Grandma turned to me. I should have told you sooner. Tears blurred my vision. You didn't have to. Yes, she said softly. This family forgot what love means. But you, she reached across the table and held my hand. You never did. For the first time, someone at that table saw me. Outside, I heard phones buzzing, flashes going off. Someone had filmed everything. The dinner that began with humiliation was no longer private. Grandma smiled faintly. They'll hate me for this, she whispered. I looked at her, heart pounding. Why? Her eyes darkened. Because they don't know this isn't over. Grandma's words echoed in my head. Your real parents asked me to. Everyone at the table stared at her like she'd just started a war. Clara turned back, face red. What do you mean her parents asked you to? They're dead. Grandma didn't even blink. They were. But before they died, they made me promise something. My voice shook. Promise what? Grandma looked straight at me. To protect you. No matter what it cost. The room went silent again. Even the waiter froze halfway to the table, unsure what to do. My adoptive mother slammed her glass down. Mother, that's enough. No, Patricia, Grandma said. You've kept her in this house for 20 years, and all she's ever gotten is your cold shoulder. You should be ashamed. Patricia's lips tightened. Don't lecture me. Clara crossed her arms. So, what, her real dad was your employee? Some driver? Grandma's eyes flashed. He wasn't just a driver. He saved my life. The words hit like thunder. Grandma took a slow breath. There was a car accident. I would have died that night. He pulled me out, even when the car caught fire. He got burned saving me. And when I found out he had a daughter, I made a promise that I'd keep her safe if anything ever happened to him. My chest tightened. My father saved you? Yes, she said quietly. And your mother was the kindest woman I ever met. You come from good people, Alara. I couldn't speak. For years I'd believed I was just a charity case, a burden, a mistake they took in out of pity. Now I was hearing that my father had been a hero. But Clara couldn't stand it. She laughed loud, fake. Oh please, so now she's some tragic princess? Spare me. Grandma turned to her. That man gave his life for me. You've done nothing but spend mine. The color drained from Clara's face. You can't talk to me like that. Grandma stood up, her voice calm but sharp. I can, because I've had enough of this family acting like kindness is weakness. Everyone froze. Then she looked at me again. Alara, there's one more thing you should know. I swallowed hard. What? She reached into her purse and pulled out a folded letter. The paper was old, the edges torn. This was written by your father before he died. My heart jumped. You kept it? I did, Grandma said. Because it's the reason I brought you here. Clara groaned. This is ridiculous. We're in a restaurant, Mother. But Grandma ignored her. She handed me the letter. My hands shook as I unfolded it. The handwriting was rough, but the words were clear. Is greater than, if anything happens to us, promise me you'll tell Alara the truth when she's grown. Tell her she's stronger than she knows. Tell her we loved her, and tell her not to trust them. I froze. Not to trust them? I looked up. What does that mean? Grandma's eyes were sad. It means, your father knew something before he died. Something I never understood. Something about your adoption. My mother's face turned white. Mother, stop talking. But Grandma didn't stop. You all think I don't see what goes on in that house. You think I don't know how you treat her. My father's voice finally broke through. Enough. This has gone far enough. But Grandma's voice only got louder. No, it hasn't. It's time she knows the truth. Clara rolled her eyes. What truth? That you like her better than your own family? Grandma took a deep breath, her voice low but firm. No, the truth that your father didn't agree to the adoption. My stomach twisted. What? She looked straight at my mother. Tell her, Patricia. My mother shook her head. Don't you dare. Tell her. Grandma's voice cracked like lightning. Everyone stared. Even Clara stopped smirking. My mother's lips trembled. Fine, she whispered. You want the truth? Here it is. She looked at me cold, empty eyes. You weren't adopted out of love, Alara. You were adopted out of guilt. The air left my lungs. Guilt? My mother nodded. Your father, my husband, was the one driving that car the night her parents died. The whole room went dead silent. Even the music stopped sounding like music. I felt my hands shake. What? Clara looked at her mother, then back at me, eyes wide. Mom? My mother's voice broke. It was an accident. He didn't mean to hit them, but they didn't survive. Grandma made us take you in afterward, said it was our punishment. My heart dropped. The world blurred around me. I stared at Grandma, tears filling my eyes. Is that true? She nodded slowly. I wanted to protect you, but yes, Alara, that's the truth. I couldn't breathe. The people who raised me weren't saviors. They were the reason my parents were gone. The waiter stepped closer, whispering, Is everything all right, ma'am? No, nothing was all right. Grandma put her hand on mine. Alara, listen to me. But before she could finish, my mother's phone buzzed. She looked at the screen, and her face went pale. She whispered one word under her breath. Then she looked at Grandma. The whole room froze after my mother's words. He killed them. Those 3 words kept ringing in my head like a siren I couldn't shut off. Grandma's face stayed calm, but her hands trembled on the table. "Patricia," she whispered, "you should have told her years ago." My mother's eyes filled with tears she refused to let fall. She was a child. What good would it have done? Clara stared at both of them, her face pale. "Are you saying Dad, our dad?" Grandma cut her off. "Yes. He hit their car, and he drove away." No one moved. The waiter silently backed out of the room. I felt like the floor had vanished. Everything. I'd believed about my life every thank you. Every apology was a lie. Grandma leaned close. "Ilara, listen to me. Your father begged me to protect you. That's why I forced this adoption, so you'd never end up alone." I swallowed hard. "You knew all this time?" "I did," she said. "And I'm sorry." The air felt heavy. I pushed back from the table and stood. "I can't do this." Clara grabbed my wrist. "Wait. You can't just walk out now. You own everything, remember? That includes us." Her voice cracked into a laugh that sounded more like a scream. Grandma's tone sharpened. "Let her go, Clara." But Clara didn't move. "You ruined everything, Mother. You gave her the money, the house, the name, and now this?" She turned to me, her voice low and shaking. "You think people will feel sorry for you when they find out? You think they'll still call you a victim?" I pulled my arm free. "I don't care what they call me." Grandma stood. "Enough. All of you. This ends tonight." But before she could say more, her phone buzzed. She looked at it, frowning. Her eyes widened. They posted the video. Everyone turned. "What video?" my mother asked. Grandma's hand shook as she set the phone on the table. On the screen was the dinner, our voices, our faces, every cruel word. It was already spreading online. Clara's jaw dropped. "Who recorded this?" "I don't know," Grandma said, "but it's everywhere." The restaurant manager appeared at the door. "Excuse me, but reporters are outside." My heart started pounding. Cameras, flashing lights. The story was already bigger than the truth we'd just heard. Clara whispered, "We're finished." Grandma's voice stayed calm. "Maybe you are, but Ilara isn't." I looked at her. "What do you mean?" She took a deep breath. "The world's finally going to see what you've lived through. Don't hide from it." The table was chaos, my mother crying, Clara pacing, phones buzzing nonstop. Through it all, Grandma's hand found mine. "Go home, Ilara. Pack your things. Tomorrow everything changes." "Why?" I asked. She looked at me, eyes full of something I hadn't seen before, fear. "Because this story isn't over," she said. "Someone else wants to make sure it never is." Outside, I heard shouting, cameras flashing, and a name being called over and over. My name. I turned toward the window just as a black car pulled up to the curb. The door opened slowly, and the person who stepped out made my blood run cold. The black car door opened. Flashes burst outside the window. Reporters shouted my name. "Ilara, look here!" "Ilara, is it true?" Grandma's phone buzzed again. She looked at the screen, then at me. "It's everywhere," she whispered. "Millions of views already." Clara grabbed the phone, her voice cracking. "They're calling us monsters." Grandma didn't answer. She stared at the door where the reporters waited. "They're not wrong," she said. My mother sat frozen. This can't be happening. But it was. The dinner, the fight, every word, it was all online. Someone at that restaurant had filmed everything. Outside, people were chanting my name. Some were cheering, some were angry. I stood up. "We have to go." Grandma nodded. "Follow me. Keep your head down." We pushed through the side door, but the cameras found us anyway. The lights felt like fire against my skin. Questions flew from every side. "Did your family abuse you? Is it true you inherited everything? Do you blame them for your parents' death?" I couldn't breathe. Grandma shielded me with her coat. "No comments," she said firmly. "Not now." In the car, silence filled the air. The driver turned on the radio. Our story was already breaking news. "Adopted girl humiliated at family dinner," the anchor said. "But her grandmother's shocking confession changes everything," Clara gasped. "They twisted it." Grandma looked straight ahead. "No, they showed the truth. You just don't like how it looks." By nightfall, the mansion gates were covered with reporters. Drones buzzed overhead. Messages flooded my phone. Thousands of people I'd never met were telling me their stories. Kids who grew up feeling unwanted. People who said I gave them courage. I hadn't said a word to anyone. But somehow, the world was listening anyway. Grandma sat beside me in the study. "You don't have to answer them," she said. "Let the storm pass." I shook my head. "No, I need to face it." She smiled faintly. "Then you've already won." A week passed. The video hit 50 million views. News stations replayed it every hour. Clara lost her job. My parents stopped going outside. But Grandma stayed calm through it all. "They'll hate me for what I did," she said one. "I don't care," I told her. She looked at me with tired eyes. "Good. Then you'll survive this world." She opened a drawer and handed me a small velvet box. "This belonged to your mother," she said. "Keep it close." Inside was a gold locket, old, scratched, but warm in my hand. I opened it and saw a tiny photo of two people smiling. "They were brave," Grandma whispered. "Like you." Tears blurred my vision. For once, I didn't hide them. Later that night, I sat alone in my room, scrolling through endless messages. Most were kind, some were cruel, but one stopped me cold. It wasn't from a stranger. It was from an address I didn't recognize, but the name attached made my heart race. Subject: "You don't know the full story." Message: "Your parents didn't die the way they said. Meet me tomorrow at the old bridge, 8 p.m. Come alone." I stared at the screen until the words blurred. Grandma knocked on my door. "Everything all right, dear?" I closed the laptop quickly. "Yeah, just tired." She smiled softly. "Get some rest. Tomorrow will be better." But I knew tomorrow wouldn't be better. Tomorrow could change everything again. Because whoever sent that message, they knew something. And I was going to find out what. The night air was cold. I stood by the bridge, phone in hand, staring at the dark water below. No cars, no sound, just the city lights behind me. 8:03 p.m. No one had shown. Then headlights flared at the end of the bridge. A car rolled to a stop. A man stepped out, coat collar up, face hidden by shadow. "Elara," he said softly. My pulse jumped. "Who are you?" He walked closer. "I'm the one who filmed that dinner." My stomach tightened. "Why?" "Because the truth never comes out unless someone forces it," he said. "I worked for your family once. I know what really happened to your parents." I swallowed. "They said it was an accident." He shook his head. "It was no accident. The brakes didn't fail by chance. Your father was trying to protect your mother from something she found out." My voice cracked. "Protect her from who?" He hesitated. "From Patricia, your adoptive mother. She wasn't just a bystander that night. She was the one who ordered the mechanic to get rid of the car." The world tilted. "You're lying." He pulled a folded paper from his pocket. "Police report. Never filed. I kept a copy before they paid everyone to stay quiet." I took the paper. My hands shook as I read the faded words. There it was, my parents' names, listed under hit and run, and at the bottom, a signature I knew too well. Patricia Weston. Everything inside me went still. "Why are you telling me this now?" I whispered. He looked at me. "Because Grandma May asked me to. Before she died, she told me to wait until you were strong enough to handle the truth." Tears stung my eyes. "She knew?" "She knew everything, and she left you something else." He handed me a small envelope. "Open it when you're ready." Before I could ask more, he turned, got in his car, and disappeared into the night. At home, I sat on my bed staring at the envelope. My hands wouldn't stop shaking. Finally, I opened it. Inside was a single note in Grandma May's handwriting. "Is greater than Elara. The truth hurts, but it frees you. Don't let anger finish what love began. Build what they destroyed." Beside the note was a small key. I recognized it, the key to Grandma's old study. I went there the next morning. The room smelled of dust and lavender. In her desk drawer was another envelope, thicker this time. Inside were legal papers, proof that every property, every share, every dollar she owned was already transferred to my name. At the bottom, she'd written one more line. "Is greater than, use it to help the ones who were never chosen." That afternoon, I did exactly that. I called a meeting. With the lawyers, I sold the mansion. I used every cent to open a shelter for foster children. Reporters came again. They asked, "Why give it all away?" I looked into the cameras. "Because love isn't something you inherit," I said. It's something you build. The clip spread faster than the first one. Millions watched again, but this time the comments were different. People didn't see a victim, they saw a start. Messages poured in. You made me forgive my family. You reminded me I matter. For once, I wasn't running from my story. I was living it. Weeks later, I returned to the bridge. The city lights shimmered on the water. I took out Grandma's note and read it one last time. A voice came from behind me, soft, nervous. Alara? I turned. A little girl stood there with a woman beside her. You don't know us, the woman said, but you changed everything for kids like her. The girl smiled shyly and handed me a drawing, a house with open doors, children laughing inside. I knelt down. Is this your home? She shook her head. No, she said. It's yours. I felt the tears come, quiet but steady. The circle was complete. Pain to purpose, silence to voice, alone to belonging. And as I watched them walk away into the night, I finally understood what Grandma meant. Family isn't blood. It's the people who choose you and the ones you choose back. If this story touched you, subscribe for more real stories that stay with you. Tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I read every single one.